A couple weeks ago, we touched on 11 questions to ask an essential oils company, and I mentioned that after going through those questions as well as some additional research, the only company that I trust for oils to come across the threshold of our home is Young Living. And so today we're going to dive into a little bit of why that is. Frequently, probably actually the most frequently asked question that I get about Young Living essential oils is, are they organic? And people are often surprised when I tell them that no, organic doesn't even begin to cover the basis of Young Living. They have a quality commitment known as Seed to Seal, and we're going to dive into exactly what Seed to Seal looks like today, why it's even better than organic, and stay tuned to the very end because you're going to want to see side by side the organic standards compared to Young Living Seed to Seal standards, and you can see for yourself. So let's dive in. Young Living Seed to Seal quality commitment actually stands on 3 pillars. You have the pillar of sourcing, science, and standards. And if at any time there is an oil that is presented to them that doesn't meet one of their standards in here, it is either not bought or the entire batch is rejected. So if they're being offered the oil from a Seed to Seal certified supplier, they don't buy it. If it's coming from their own farm, they reject that batch if for at any reason it doesn't match one of these standards. So it's always quality and people over profit with Young Living. Let's dive into the first pillar, sourcing. Young Living actually has 3 different tiers of farms that fall within their sourcing pillar. All of these have to meet the same standards, the same science. It's just where they come from. So the very first tier and the top tier is our corporate-owned farms. These are farms, clearly by the name, that Young Living owns corporately. They own themselves. One of these happens to be in Mona, Utah. Some of my best and most cherished memories come from that farm. And every year we get to go as part of a convention and be part of planting seeds. And you get to talk to any of the employees that are there on staff. Some of them have been there for 25 years. And it is just amazing to hear stories coming from the farmers, getting to see distillation processes firsthand, all of these kind of things. Spending time seeing for yourself that they say you're getting is actually what you're getting. And not only can you do that at Mona, Utah, but any of the corporate-owned farms are open to visitors. You don't even have to be a member. Just call ahead, make sure they're open. The Young Living Essential Oils Sourcing Standard applies to all stages of the Young Living Essential Oil supply chain. So whether it's farms or wildcrafting operations, processing facilities, distilleries, as well as the Young Living owned facilities. It applies to Young Living corporate farms, their partner farms, and Seed to Seal certified suppliers like we just touched on, no matter which tier they fall into. Young Living works with SCS Global, who's a leader in environmental and sustainability certification, with auditing and testing and standards development as well. So you're getting some third-party accountability as well as certification. To help ensure that inferior or unethically sourced ingredients don't find their way into your home, Young Living works with these global experts, third-party global experts, to help ensure that all of our standards are being met. Things like authentication, agricultural practices, harvesting and collection, the distillation, testing, sustainability, traceability, storage, and bottling. See, Young Living doesn't believe in creating a demand for a product without making it sustainable, because they want things to be here for your children, your grandchildren, your children's children. It's not just about the bottom line and the dollar and how much can they make now. That's not how Young Living operates. That might be how some people operate, but it's not how Young Living operates. The second pillar in the Seed to Seal quality commitment is science. And as Dr. Michael Buch likes to say, that quality starts at our farms, but it's proven in the labs. And testing is repeated multiple times throughout the process, actually beginning at our farms all the way through the shipment process. Every test that Young Living performs is tested in triplicate twice, so that we ensure that there's not any error that's happening throughout the testing processes. These tests include things like densitometry, here we go, viscometry, refractometry, olfactometry, polarimetry, inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry, inductively coupled plasma atomic optical emission spectrometry, gas chromatography, high performance liquid chromatography, Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy. One of these days I will be able to say that. Automated microenumeration, accelerated stability testing, disintegration, pH. They're looking for things like heavy metals that could be in there. Are there any microbiological compounds that should not be part of this oil? Nothing is spared in testing to ensure that these oils are not only effective, but crazy safe for you and your family. Young Living also works with more than a dozen of the world's leading independent and accredited labs with highly skilled and trained scientists who specialize in advanced product testing. The third pillar of Young Living's Seed to Seal quality commitment is standards. And I actually touched on a tiny little bit of this in sourcing because it just runs throughout so much of Young Living's heart that it's hard to leave it out of any of the versions. But Young Living really sees themselves as stewards of God's environment. And so they, like I said, don't believe in creating a demand that is not able to be sustained. They also believe in ensuring that every farmer is paid fairly. Every person throughout the process is paid fairly, treated fairly, that all local laws are being obeyed, that environmental standards are being met. We have a global compliance officer who ensures that not only are we getting pure products to homes throughout the world, but that also those products are contributing to bettering the environment and bettering the people who we come in contact with, the communities where our farms are at. They're so far above just a conscientious supply chain. And I've heard stories of our farm in Ecuador that we have such a long waiting list of farmers to work with our company and to work at that farm in Ecuador because we pay them so much more than they're able to make at other farms in the area. All right, here's the part I promised. Organic side by side with Seed to Seal. So organic, you have 5% non-organic material allowed in an organic oil. In a Seed to Seal oil, 0 pesticides or chemicals are permitted. Nothing that's non-organic is allowed to go in there. Organic, chemical-free soil for 7 years. Seed to Seal, chemical-free soil for 50 plus years. Okay, 7, 50. Organic, you have 3 years of growing before they're eligible to meet standards. With Seed to Seal, you have 5 years of growing before we're eligible to meet Seed to Seal standards. Before being eligible to meet Seed to Seal standards. So 3 versus 5. Organic, weeds can be handled by hand. They can use approved synthetics and organic substances to take care of weeds. Young Living, we only do it by hand. Organic may use approved synthetics for pests. Young Living controls their pest, guess how? Essential oils. Organic, they do have to have a continual testing of the soil daily. Young Living Seed to Seal standards not only test the soil daily, but the water and the quality of the air as well. Organic are allowed to use conventional non-GMO seeds. Seed to Seal never uses conventionally grown seeds. The organic standards approval staff are 15 volunteers on the approval board. Seed to Seal, you have 50 trained scientists on staff to manage the Seed to Seal standards. Organic does not require third-party testing. Seed to Seal, third-party testing required. So as you can see, organic is definitely a great starting place, and it's a whole lot better than your conventional or no standards at all. However, Seed to Seal not only meets the organic standards, but goes above and beyond, setting standards that are so much higher than organic. And these standards are not just for our essential oils, but for every product that Young Living produces. So you can be assured anything that has that Young Living name on it has met all of these Seed to Seal standards across all 3 pillars. I hope you found today's information helpful for you. Like I said, it's one of the most frequently asked questions that I get. And so I love sharing about it too, because it's really a big part of Young Living's heartbeat. And it aligns so well with all the biblical principles of integrity and caring for others, loving your neighbor as yourself, caring for those farmers just as well as the corporate employees. Before we go, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notifications every time we post a new video each week. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.